y'all, and welcome back to the Mace Family Kitchen. So today is all about pinto beans. Some of my favorite things. I just love a good pinto bean. So what I started with last night was soaking the beans overnight. This helps just kind of prepare them for the cooking process. It's kind of softening it up. Beans take an incredible amount of water, so this also helps with that process. So in the pot behind me, I have 16 cups of water and 6 cups of beans, 4 chicken bouillon cubes, and 1 large onion. To that, I will be adding some country pork ribs. So I'm gonna saute these lightly, just get them kind of soft and letting all the juices come through. And I'll also be adding green chili to that. So they soaked overnight, covered them with a towel, poured them out in the morning, rinsed them, then put them into the pot with the 16 cups of water. You do have to watch beans for not having enough water because they do tend to suck up quite a bit of water. So after that, they just simmer for about 4 to 6 hours, depending on where you keep the heat. And usually that's at a good place, is a little over medium. And if that's not working on your stove, then just turn it up or down a little to match, kind of almost like a simmer. You don't want them boiling completely, and I will tell you that it will always foam and rise over your pot if you're not careful. But we're gonna get all of that started. We'll come back in when I get the meat seared off just a little bit so you can see how that looks. And then we'll allow the beans to simmer throughout the day. And we'll come back and show you what it looks like. So guys, we're back. I have just lightly gone over the country pork ribs. And sticking them into our beans. Just try and get a couple more turns on these. So right now, here's what we have. Which is the beans, the water, the bouillon, and the country pork ribs. So after I get done with this, more into the cooking process, I'll add some other spices and we'll tell you all about that. But right now we're just gonna let this kind of simmer on its own, let the pork get into here. One of the things that I just want to make a statement about is we are adding pork, and of course pork has its own natural fattiness. Typically I would add lard. So if you're not adding meat, or you don't have a good cut of meat to add, but you want to do beans, lard is a great substitute. I know everybody's been health conscious nowadays, and they are looking for a healthier alternative. You can use a different type of oil, but lard is really one of those great flavor adding substances. And while I wouldn't suggest it all the time, in beans, a tablespoon or 2 goes a long way toward the texture and the feel of what you're eating. And of course, we're gonna make refried beans out of these, so that's gonna actually help add that oil into it. I won't need it because I have the meat, but it is a great option. All right, guys, so when we come back, we'll be doing spices right inside the pot. See you later. All right, guys, we're just doing that last step right for the moment and adding the green chili. Of course, this one took me a little bit longer because you have to peel it. But we will add the spices probably in about 2 hours. Just let this get all meshed together and simmer for a little bit. And then we'll go back and we'll add in some wonderful spices for you.
Okay, y'all. Tracy has started this process of putting everything together, and this is where I usually come in to help her out. give the beans and rib meat a great flavor. Without everything else that we're about to add, these things taste amazing. I did take the bones out. So now what we're gonna add, and I'm not gonna tell you measurements because we can give you basic measurements, but you're gonna have to use the spices and do your own tasting on it. So you can start out with about 6 tablespoons of some chili powder, about 4 teaspoons, which is a tablespoon of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons of onion powder, and 1 tablespoon of oregano, and then of course some cumin. That's really gonna just give these guys a burst of flavor. We don't add salt because during the cooking process, as Traci has mentioned, if you add salt, it's just going to firm up the beans. So that's pretty much it for this recipe. We'll go ahead and end it here. I appreciate y'all watching these videos. Again, we'd appreciate it if y'all subscribed, liked the videos, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified of when new videos come out. Share the video with some friends, and we'll see you on the next time.